Okay, in your sketchbook or on a piece of paper, get something that has, whether it's, you know, the end of a cup, or I have a tape here. I'm just going to draw my perfect circle and go from there. Okay, okay, I'm going to draw a little dot in the middle, in the approximate middle. And I can use any paper, or if you have a ruler, it doesn't really matter. I want to draw an X through that dot like this. So I'm just going to draw an X. Okay, so now I'm going to put two dots that are somewhat equal distant between each pie. I'm going to say these are like pie pieces. So I'm making marks that are approximate, and then I'm going to draw more diagonal X's through the middle, connecting those dots. So just watch for a minute. So I'm going to connect those two dots like this, and I'm rotating. So just do your best. Again, this is all approximate, but notice every time I trace or I draw, I'm going through that middle dot. That will keep this somewhat accurate. Zoom recording. Okay, we want to look at this like a clock. So at the very top, if you look at a clock, is the number 12. Then we're going to go around to the right. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's a clock. So going clockwise, the numbers go around. So you're going to just number right outside each pie piece, number 1 to 12. Okay, starting with the 12 pie piece, the very top one, I'm going to go in with my red pencil, and I want to color the whole pie piece as solid and dark red as I possibly can. So if that means going over it lightly first and then going over a second time. So when we did our shading, our highlights, midtones, and shadows, think of this as if I had to make my darkest shadow with red, I want to add a lot of pressure and get a really nice solid dark red. When you're done with that, go down to pie number 4 and go in with your yellow the same way. You're going to color as super dark and solid as you can in number 4. And as you're working, I'm going to just move on to the very last one, which is number 8. So we have 12, 4, and 8. Red, yellow, and blue, as dark and solid as possible. Does anyone know what these 3 colors are called in the art world? When you say yellow, red, blue, what color scheme are we referring to, or what do you call these? Anyone know the magic answer? Yes, Chris, thank you. Primary. So Chris typed in primary. These are the primary colors. So these are important colors because you cannot make these by mixing other colors. The only way to get these colors are straight from the tube or straight from nature. It's not like I can mix 2 different colors to make blue. It just doesn't happen. So next what I want to do is I'm going to go to number 2. I'm going to start with my red, but I'm going to draw a midtone, or almost, remember on our value scale, we're going to color in there with the red in number 2 with what I would call a midtone, like a lighter red. So we're not going super dark shadow in value. And then when I fill that up with what I would call is pink, right? Because it's like a very light red, which would be pink. I'm going to do the same thing with my yellow, because it's this number 2 pie piece is between the red and yellow. So now I'm going to color overlay my yellow. I might add a little bit more pressure on the yellow just because yellow is a lighter valued color. So to try to get 2 equal parts of yellow and red, sometimes you might have to add a little bit more yellow. So can someone tell me what color this might look like from a distance if you zoom back? What color is number 2? Yeah, orange. So now we already know yellow and red make orange, and orange is called a secondary color. So you make orange by mixing 2 of the primary colors. So I'm just going to go ahead over here and do the same thing. Maybe this time I'll label it just to clarify that this is orange. Are skipping ahead because they know what's happening, so I'm going to skip ahead. If I go to number 6, 6 is between the blue and the yellow, so I'm going to do the exact same thing I did here, but only with blue. Again, because blue is a darker color in value, I would go pretty light on your blue. Fill up that triangle of number 6, because that's between yellow and blue. And then go over the blue with the yellow, a little bit darker. And what color do yellow and blue make? Green. Thank you, Azat. Awesome. So I'm going to go over here and do the same thing and do my yellow with my blue. So I know what the secondary colors are. And I'm going to label that orange. Oh, not orange. Sorry. Green. Sorry, I was just looking at this. So, right. So that's green. And then when you're done with that, the last thing is between the red and the blue, number 10. And we'll stop there today. So again, a lighter value, not a dark shadow with my blue, just somewhere in the mid-tone. So I'm not adding a lot of pressure. You can see it looks like a light blue, my number 10. And then I'll go over that with the red, same thing. Now it's probably easier to see on the camera when I'm versus looking at my paper. If I look up at the screen, my eyes blend the two colors together, but when I look at the paper, it's harder for me to see. What do these two colors make, red and blue? What secondary color is number 10? Purple, thank you. Purple or violet. Some color wheels say violet. I say purple. I'm going to call that purple. Okay, so this is the beginning of our color wheel. We have our primary colors, red, yellow, blue, and the secondary colors, orange, green, and purple, which are the colors that you make by combining those two colors next to each other on the color wheel. And we'll